Yes, it's to start. It was like I think it is the way we all start. The things we used to see. I'm a lawyer for more than 25 years, so the things we used to see on television, the series like people see today on Suits, for
Yeah, yeah,
example, and people love it. Yeah, it was like I like law. I want to study law, and I decided to do it when I was, I don't know, 13, 14.
wow.
So it was easy for me to be a candidate on a law university and to start studying and preparing my career as a lawyer, and as a lawyer, not with other area in law, as a lawyer. And I've made my practices as a traditional lawyer because we need to do it here with the
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese Association. They tell us you need to go to court, you need to practice on civil area, on criminal area. You need to do it, and I did it with my practice for near 2 years, and I kept doing that, a lot of litigation with some colleagues, older colleagues that teach me, and they were university professors.
Mm-hmm.
So my technical skills in the civil procedures in litigation were nice, were good, and I got some invitations to join biggest companies,
Mm-hmm.
biggest law offices, and I had a friend that told me, Vasco, do your area. You're very good in what you do in litigation, and I'll do the marketing area. I'll get the clients. So let's join and create our own company. I did it for I don't know 12 years since I started my practices, and then around 2006, 2007, I started thinking to change the mindset
Mm.
and my mindset, the way we see the future of law.
How did
And
it change?
it changed with 3, 4 different tools that are not directly connected
Mm-hmm.
with law, but are very important in my opinion. First one, you need to be in the streets. You cannot wait for clients to arrive and knock on your door at your office. You need to
Mm-hmm.
move on. You need to search for clients. If you sit and wait for them, they won't appear.
Yeah.
So you need to be seen and you need to be known for people to remind you and to think about you when something happens to them.
Yeah. Even just that you
So
exist, now that you are out there, you offer
mobility,
service. Yeah.
mobility, a lot of. I was always available to visit a potential client at his own company, not to tell him to come to my office. I'll
Mm-hmm.
go to your office, no problem. Is it in Lisbon? Is it in Algarve? Is it in Madrid? No worries. I'll go there. I'll meet you. I was okay to do it. And also, if you feel okay with this, you need to be comfortable traveling. And it was this nice coincidence because Porto started to have very good connections all over Europe and the rest of and the world,
Mm-hmm.
with very good flight connections at a very low price. So each time someone asked me, Vasco, would you be available to come to Barcelona or to come to Paris? Immediately.
Of course.
Immediately.
Was it this most in the beginning of your career, or is it also
When I
now?
decided to change in the middle, after 10 years of experience, when I decided to change my mindsets about the way I used to see my activity. It was a very traditional activity, lots of litigation, going to courts, traditional clients, and things started to change with this whole globalization that we talk about. And the globalization brought us the need to travel, the need to be near clients because they are comfortable and they prefer us to visit them than to come to our office.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a good mix. Low prices at flights, globalization, people arriving in Portugal from other countries. We Portuguese are a country of immigrants, so you have lots of people outside Portugal that have problems and need some help building this bridge between Portugal and the place they live now. So I decided to join these people and try to help these people. And my the way I started to see my activity became a difference. I said, I need to be near the clients. I have the chance to do it because I can travel easily. Prices are low. I have very good connections. Another tool, I speak languages. I speak 5 different languages. So it is important and easy for us to arrive in a country and be familiar with the people that you're dealing with.
Sure.
And obviously the ability to go there and do good connections, to have a good network.
You think you've been more open-minded than earlier compared to maybe your, let's say, competitor or other lawyers in?
No doubts about it. No doubts. Traditional lawyers used to say, no, they tell them to come to my office. They won't come to your office anymore.
Yeah.
Go and meet them directly. Otherwise, they won't come here.
You need to give first value, for sure.
And to give you an example, next week I'll be 3 days in Madrid, 2 in Barcelona, and 2 in Bilbao, for example.
And is it mainly to network, or you already?
I already have clients and I have things to do there, but I have clients, I have network, and I have connections with schools or universities where I can teach and also learn my some specific law areas. So I now teach, but I started studying, and I try to study every year. Different tools. I'll give you another example. Legal project management, legal design. Legal design is pure marketing. The way you expose an idea to your potential clients, the way you draw things instead of having a conversation or writing an email. If you present them a good image of the problem, and we call it legal design, the chance that you have for this client to understand better what is happening turns your communication, the communication between you and them, so much easy. And this is pure marketing.
The prospect has to really understand what you're gonna do and everything, except of course the offer.
So all these tools will help me change the mindset and say, okay, these are the tools that I have. I have 2 or 3 nice apps that help me that allow me to travel home, on a plane, at the hotel, in Portugal, outside Portugal. Easy to do it. I have an application to make the management of my office. I have another one that makes the connection with courts. I have another one where I have all the documents. And this one is very important because it allows you to get some documents and get all the information online with access to the clients. And if you say to a colleague, please get me a power of attorney to present immediately to someone, they just need to go to the program, get the power of attorney, and then prepare it and send it to clients. So the things we used to do in 2 hours, we are now doing in 2 minutes.
And it's essential.
It doesn't matter if you're at the office, you're at home, you're at a swimming pool. It doesn't matter. If you answer immediately, and that's another tool, if you answer immediately, less than 24 hours, if you're available for your client, that's the best marketing that you can have. So all these tools, if you join all these tools, you can prepare an office that works all over the world. You're always available for your clients. You can answer immediately, and the client loves it.
Like a digital nomad lawyer, let's say.
No doubts. Yes, totally.
Amazing. It hasn't been like this. I can imagine in your 25 years of career. What do you think it was the most significant challenges that you have encountered in your early days, maybe also?
The risk of investing, because I used to have I prepared my company with more than 60 people working, and for Portugal is already very good. And when I started to get to the conclusion that the way my colleagues used to think was not mine. We were in different levels and different projects and different ways of preparing our future. And I said, I'm not going this way. I want to go on another direction. I want to do things differently. And probably the most risky point here was to forget about the traditional way of living my activity and the risk of investing, traveling a lot, paying expenses, hotels, flights, etc., doing network investing to get clients later. It was incredible because the same way you go to a meeting to a client, you can finish your meeting and get a glass of white wine at a bar in Madrid, and this is a very nice way of living. But you need to invest, you need to take risks, you need to go and fight and be strong, because I had lots of situation coming home from New York, for example, and getting into the plane and saying, okay, this was nice, bring me a bottle of wine, or not a bottle, a glass of wine. And another one saying, please close the door, let's go home, because nothing happened, and I spent a lot of money investing here and nothing happened. So this was the risk that I had, but I cannot call it a risk, because you have so many things to do. You don't have time to think about this. You just need to prepare, invest, and fight.
It's part of the game.
Things happen.
It's part of the game for sure.
Yes.
And did you have other lawyers, other colleagues that were supporting you at the time, or?
Yes.
Alone?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have, because the same moment you start, or you made the option for this way of working, you started to get connections, and people contact you and say, Vasco, I'm in Paris. I have an immigrant from Portugal here that has a problem, and we need to do some things in a court, or in a, I don't know, near some authority in Portugal. Can you help us with this? Yes, I will. I will help you. And what do? I do the coordination of the work. I do the work in Portugal. I transmit all the information to my colleagues outside Portugal. And to do this, in order to do this, I need to have very good contacts, and people have the same mindset that I have. Otherwise, things don't work. And nowadays, I have lots of colleagues in Spain, France. I'm a member of 3 or 4 different international associations. For example, I'm a member of World Law Alliance, and I have colleagues in India, I have colleagues in Sri Lanka, in Pakistan, in the United States, all over the world. And this makes it very easy for you, because you go to a WhatsApp group and say, I need a lawyer for a divorce in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
it's easy, and you get this connection, you do the coordination of the work. So if people have this mindset, it's easy. The problem was that lawyers took a lot of time to change mindset, or to start changing mindset. Even here now in Portugal, our main problem is the lack of instruction and education. And it also happens a lot with people that work in law area, lawyers, judges, prosecutors, everyone. In my opinion, the problem here is the lack of instruction and lack of education. People don't want to learn. People just think it is enough. It's enough. We don't need to learn. And the biggest problem was to change the mindset of these people. Sometimes it's still hard to work here in Portugal, considering this.
Do you think that for the younger lawyer, it's easier to just be more adapted to the market?
Yes, it is. This doesn't mean that the highway is wide open, but it is very easy for a young lawyer, if he has the tools that he may need to manage his own office with a good laptop, a good mobile phone, IT, apps, speaking languages, being international, being able for traveling and embrace globalization. No problems. Obviously, the lawyer of the future needs to have three specific characteristics.
Yeah,
very good.
If you have to give an advice to young lawyers in Portugal or in the world, what would you say?
This one's three very important different skills. One, technical, legal technical skills. You need to be an excellent lawyer in some specific areas. Two, have in your hands very good IT tools. Three, you need to manage. You need to manage very well. You need to manage and do business. And you need to do business. You need to be prepared yourself and your activity as a business, not as an art. Writing or speaking very well on a court no longer exists. People, judges are not, they don't have patience to hear you or to read what you write. Do things easily, make it simple, but be very well prepared with this. Do good business, very good technical legal skills, and good IT. If you have all these three tools, you're okay in the future.
You know, also talking with other lawyers that I work with, it looks like like a big percentage of how a lawyer is good in his work is how fast it is, how much available it is. How much do you think it count on percentage?
As I say to my colleagues in the office, young colleagues now, definitely you need to give an answer to your client in less than 24 hours. Even if it is to say, sorry, I can answer you today. I will answer you only the day after tomorrow. But you need to say something. If you don't answer, if you don't have good communication with your clients, that's finished.
Nice.
Yes, I totally agree with it.
You also said before that you would recommend to younger lawyer to be more specific in some specific areas or of law. Do you think there are some trends now that are going?
Yes, definitely that data protection, IT areas. Obviously, I teach and help with sports law in this institute in Spain, and sports law is obviously something that is having a lot of search, and our colleagues do it a lot now, especially when you start to have all this wave of the Middle East clubs in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, etc. And they need to learn how to manage a club, how to prepare a club to be at the same level as European clubs, football clubs, for example. Yes, sports law is now trendy, IT area, and obviously it is now fashion and sexy to say that we are worried about nature, we are green, etc., etc. I don't know what is going to happen in this specific area, but definitely sports and IT, data protection, etc. I think it is something that will help a lot, and definitely doing what I do, being international. Because in the world of globalization, I have a divorce for someone that used to live in the United States, married with someone from France that came to Portugal and got a visa, and then they want to get divorced, and they say, how do we do this? And you need to be international to do some nice and good, well-prepared consultancy to these clients.
I can tell. I have one of my lawyer friend who is learning Arabic now because he can open a big slice of market for sure. You know, I'm curious about sports law. What do you think are the biggest challenge right now of the people who are specialized on?
They need to do a good program in this area, managing a football club, for example, a program like this, and they exist a lot in Spain. You have lots of chances and alternatives to do it, and if you have the chance to do a good program and do a practice in a well-known football club, the possibilities of getting an invitation to manage, for example, a club that is preparing his activity in Middle East. You'll have lots of work and you can earn some nice money.
Because it's more about the network that you can develop because you then work in the
Yes. And to do this network, you need to be present in conferences. You need to be present on social. You need to speak on conferences. You need to write on LinkedIn or something, or in some specific tools in the legal area, some specific web pages in the legal area for people to know you and to respect you in these areas. You need to do it. Definitely.
And apart from paid advertising on social media, how do you think it's possible to create a structure on like a specific structure where you can attract clients directly from
Yes,
social media? Because you know,
sometimes
LinkedIn
I play with this.
Vasco,
Go
because
ahead.
most of the time, you know, on LinkedIn, it's more about posting and make things happen, but it's not something you can calculate, right? That you can predict how much clients you will get from how many posts you will put there, you know. So
yeah, sure. And this is a mix of a lot of things that you need to play with. And I usually ask this question just to laugh. When I ask some people that meet me and say, "What do you think about me? Am I a good lawyer?" And they say, "Yeah, I think so." But you don't know me. You never worked with me. How do you know that, technically speaking, I'm a good lawyer? Because you have a nice car. Because you have a nice watch. Because you have a nice house. Because you dress well. Because you go to a restaurant and everyone knows you. Because you're respected on the social areas that where you go. What do I want to say with this? All these things can be the front page of your image each time you need to present yourself to someone.
Yeah, the business
you need to be well. And sometimes people forget about this and go to Instagram and put some photos at 3 a.m. totally drunk, and they completely forget that 2 or 3 days later, a potential client will look at them and say, "Come on, how is this guy going to be my lawyer?"
Yeah, you need to be prepared and ready for everything, you know.
Obviously, a good car or a good watch or a good house may not mean nothing.
Yeah.
To identify a good lawyer, but what I want to say is that you also seem to be a good lawyer. You need to work your image.
Yeah, there is some sort of pre-selection. Once they saw you for the first 3 seconds, you know, they're gonna think something about
that impacts. People look at you and say, "Okay, I'm comfortable with this person, with this image, or not. So this is a huge list of things that you need to remind and you need to work. But you also need to remember that people trust their life in your hands. So if you don't have a respectable image, if you're not a respectable person, or you don't seem to be a respectable person, people won't respect you and people won't want you to work their problems.
Yeah.
And this is a part of your marketing. Okay, I don't have a nice car or a huge car or a nice watch. I don't use watch.
Okay.
This was almost like an example just for us to laugh a little about this, but this is a reality. People look at you and say, "Oh, your suit is nice. Oh, your watch. Come on, if you have a watch like this, you need to be good.
Yeah, or maybe
You
they
need to
just
earn a lot of
think
money."
they just
And
think
this is a
that.
part of your marketing. This is a part of your marketing also. But the most important one, in my opinion, the way you speak, the way you express yourself, the way you are respected by similar people, other colleagues, the way you go to courts and judges respect you, the way they speak with you. And this means a lot. And this is pure work from us. That's something that we need to do day by day, every hour, every minute. We need to work on this. Also, once again, you need to speak well. If you go to Spain and you don't speak Spanish, your client will look at you and say, "You're not going to help me." We're in Spain. We have a problem in Spain. You don't speak Spanish. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
So you need to speak. You need to be well understood. You need to be respected. You need to know the field where you're playing. If you have a problem in France, you need to know France. You need to know how people think, how people work. Otherwise, your client won't feel comfortable with you.
How many languages do you speak? I'm curious.
Five.
Which are?
Portuguese, French, Italian, Spanish, and English.
Nice. Cool.
And
Cool.
we should speak more.
Yeah.
We are talking about the Middle East or China, for example.
Yeah, super big opportunity for sure.
A few months ago, I went to a conference to speak in Dubai about this, the future of law, how to work, the importance of arbitration, for example, instead of the normal courts that you have in each city. Doing arbitration is very important, and in my opinion, also a future. And I went to Dubai and got an invitation to go to India to speak about the potential of visas and the immigration to Europe and the way to do it, etc., etc. I spent almost a month in India, and you get to the conclusions that everything is happening in that area, that region. At 3 a.m. in the morning at Dubai airport, you have millions of people at the airport.
Yeah.
So you say, everything is happening here. We have lots of work here. But to do it, you need to go there. You need to meet people. You need to speak like them. You need to be respected there. That's your homework.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense. They never sleep in those countries, in those places.
Yes. and here in Europe, for example, people are getting older. We don't have the dynamics and the strength, the needs that these people have. And the world is moving. The business are moving to their area, to that region, and you need to follow them. Otherwise, you won't have work here.
Do you think after 25 years of career, you have this specific problem with motivation or energy or things like this?
I feel good. I feel okay with my motivation and my energy, but I decided to follow my instincts and to have my own company, manage my life. And in my life, I have it divided every day in 3 different moments: 8 to work, 8 to sleep, and 8 to party. 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work, and 8 hours to party. Amazing. Because you need to have your head clear and comfortable, and you need to be okay with your mind. If not, and I think this is one of the other problems that we are starting to have. Lots of colleagues that we have are now working to a third person.
They're burnout.
They work 9 to 9 or 9 to midnight. Yeah. They don't have social life. They don't earn enough money to pay their expenses.
You think they're trying to keep too much control on the business, and maybe they don't let go?
Probably, probably. But it's also our colleagues' fault that don't take risks. They say, okay, I prefer to earn 1,500 or 2,000 than to invest or take some risks. Yeah. The difference is that I'm working with a teacher near the swimming pool now while we have this conversation. Yeah. And we have some colleagues saying, I need to go to the office at 8 a.m. I didn't sleep. I will leave the office at 2 a.m. I'll get 2 or 3 beers. I won't have time to dinner, and I'm going to sleep. And that's their life when they have 25, 30, 35, 40. It's an option, not mine.
Is it an awareness that you developed with the time, or have you always been like this?
I've tried to be always like this, but when I was 25, when I was 30, when I was 34, 35, obviously, I still work a lot.
Yeah.
But this is not a contradiction. If you focus on your work and you do your deep work for 4 or 5 years, 4, 5, 6 hours per day, more than enough. More than enough. But you need to think what is the best option, the best work.
80-20,
don't try to fish anything to get anything on your net. No, make some options and say to yourself, I'm going to work this and this and this. I'm going to focus on this and this and this,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
manage your life. Otherwise, when you're 40,
Yeah,
45, you're completely crazy. You're completely
yeah.
out of your mind with the depression. You don't like your life. I love it. I
I've
love
met a
my
lot
life.
of lawyers who were burned out and were
Yes,
completely destroyed, you know. You can see
but
on their
they
face.
should think a little more about the options that they made some years before,
Mm.
because it was their option to keep themselves working in another law office, for example, not to take risks, not to try to open their own office, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's their option.
Yeah.
We are independent. Lawyers should be independent. And nowadays, the problem that I see is that we have too much lawyers working for third persons that are not independent,
Mm.
that they don't manage their own life, and they should.
They bought them
That's
a
what I
job.
think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting. And now we're having this call, you know, you're in your house with the pool, so you also had some, you know, material things that you got for sure. But what are the things that makes you the most proud of what you have achieved in your career thanks to your job?
Uh, I I can say, and it's nice for me to say to third persons, but essentially to myself. Uh, I got success in what I did, what I've been doing, technically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Some important situations, very hard and very tough situations, that I had success, and it was very important. But more important than that is the feeling that you've been doing things well during all these years. The feel that I have is that I've been doing well. I feel comfortable with what I do. I go to sleep every night, and after 10 seconds of getting to bed, I'm sleeping, and I
Mm-hmm.
sleep like a baby. And having the chance of managing my own time. I think that this is very important. If we have hard work tomorrow morning, we'll do the hard work. If we don't have, and we have a party, the chance of saying, okay, let's go to party and then we work the day after tomorrow because we're okay, we can do this and we can manage our time. We are the owners of our life. And for me, that is the most important thing. And I can do it while being a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important to remember that for sure. A lot of people forget. Okay. And about the marketing side of what we are talking about, what do you think are the biggest challenges also for a new lawyer that starts and has to
The hard
find?
work to get a well-known, respected, and recognized good image. Because this work, you need to do it every hour, every minute, every day, every year. You need to be always working on this.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't mean that you cannot go to party, that you cannot get some drinks with your friends. Absolutely not, because I do it a lot. That's not the point. The point is that you need to have a clear definition of the way that you want to follow, the things that you want to do, and to do it that way, and to get to a certain point, you need to work hard every day, every minute, every hour to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do that, and regarding this marketing area, as I said, be respected, getting a good image, good contacts, good connections, play clear, play honest, play clear, play honest. You will get respected. You will get your respect in the area. And the moment people, your colleagues, people that work on courts, people that are authorities in certain areas, if they respect you, other people will say, come on, this guy must be good because everyone respects him.
Mm-hmm.
He's well known.
Social proof, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. But this is the work that you do immediately. Sometimes you don't even know, you don't even remember that you're doing it. but you need to do it permanently.
And it's also easier to lose your reputation, or maybe in
Seconds.
one work, no?
Seconds. What you try to do in lots of years, you can lose it in seconds.
Yeah.
Once again, and it's the easiest example. Think twice before posting things on your Instagram and on your Facebook. Think very well before doing it.
Yeah. How do you find the time to also manage social media and networking at the same time?
Yes, you need to prepare very well your day, and I can add two more important things that I can do during my day, and that are not connected, or maybe connected. For me, are connected with your activity as a professional. I always need time, and I always spend time reading and listening to music.
Nice.
For me, that is essential. So you just need to manage your time. When I said that in 24 hours, you need to have 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work, and 8 hours for party. When I say party, you can meet your family, you can have lunch, you can do even during the 8 hours of work. If you say, okay, I'm going to focus on 4 hours on this specific matter and this specific issue, specific situation, but then I have 1 hour to do my timesheets. I have 15 minutes to go to social media and post something. I can study, and I should study every year. I should do an executive program. I don't want people I'm not saying that people should do a master, but you can do an executive program of 2 months, of 1 week. I've made one specific program, was one of the best things I've made in my life recently in 2015 with IE in Spain. It was called Legal Bridge to Silicon Valley. And I spent around 2 weeks in Silicon Valley visiting, knowing Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. It was LinkedIn. It was incredible what we saw, what we learned. But you need to invest. You need to spend money. You need to see it as a part of the knowledge that you need to have, the investment that you need to do in your marketing life and in your professional activity.
How do you usually approach an investment on this type of things? Do you just go for it, or do you
I tried to choose some trendy programs. Obviously, this one in 2015 was incredible. Legal Bridge to Silicon Valley. Come on, knowing people, the legal department of Google, for example, it's very good.
I connect with them.
The chief of LinkedIn, nice. Do you want a better contact than this one? Come on. But you need to invest. You need to pay. You need to take some risks. While your friends say, okay, let's have lunch and go to a party during this weekend. No, I need to have some money because I'm going to Silicon Valley. You what? Yes, I'm going to Silicon Valley.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
People look at you, they doubt.
But then?
And when you come, they say, you're different, you're good. Yeah, it takes a lot of investment and work to do it. It's not pure lucky.
If you would have to give yourself a piece of advice when you started your career, what would you say?
Working and studying a lot. Get these instrumental tools to complement your activity, and please keep your mind clear and healthy.
Nice. Last things,
let me just give you an example, just to laugh a little more.
Yeah.
Some old friends here in Portugal used to say that a lawyer always has an addiction. Drugs, girls, game, alcohol.
Okay.
Why? Because it's the easiest way to escape to depression and the intensity of work that you have at your law office. And you forget about this and you move to another world. The easiest way to do it is with alcohol, drugs, sex, game. It's like this. And the most important image and information that you have in these comments is that you need to keep your mind very, healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most important thing, because it's very easy for a lawyer to get into a depression, to get into dark images, and you need to escape. You need to run from it. And
Do you have some
do it,
specific
do sports, manage well your time, take a lot of time to your family, to your friends, to some nice dinners, to do sports once again, listen to the music, read, but get a big wall between what you have in your work and the other things, and have a clear mind regarding it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have other specific practice that you try, like meditation, yoga, things like this?
I used to have, when I had this law office, we used to program our weeks on breakfast on a Sunday morning with the whole team, and before breakfast we had a yoga class.
Wow,
It
nice.
was nice. But it was a suggestion from my partner. Me, honestly, I've played basketball for a long time,
Okay.
and football. I know play paddle a lot,
Uh-huh.
and I do sports every day. I
Yeah.
go to gym. I do sports every day because it is very important. It's a good escape. It is good way of forgetting what happened and clear your mind.
Yeah, because physically as a human, we are not created to stay in front of a computer
Yes,
talking on the
yes,
phone, stuff like that. So I completely agree with that. And yeah, last thing, if you want to share maybe some upcoming projects or initiative that you're excited about in the next weeks, next month that you're gonna
yes. I keep doing a lot of consultancy in the international area,
Mhm.
and things are happening a lot here in Portugal. Portugal is, as I said before, use this expression. Portugal is now trendy, is now sexy. Is a nice place to visit, a nice place to live, and you have lots of potential clients
Yeah.
that want to move here and to invest, to buy a house, to get a visa. So there's a lot of work in this area. I'm working more than in M&A. I'm working more in buying companies, selling companies, inviting people to come to Portugal and to take a look to our potential regarding some areas of investment. And I'm working a lot on this. I think there's a lot of work to do in this globalized world, and if we could apply this kind of potential business and suggest this potential business to people in the Middle East, in this region that we talked about, uh, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, India, uh, and then direction to China. Yes, I think there's a lot of work to do here and a lot of investment, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So your main focus would be to get potential investor from Middle East to help them invest here in Portugal, right?
Try to discover Portugal, Europe,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of needs that these people bring, and it depends the niche of work that you want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
You can work with someone that wants a visa and comes here, or you can try to work with a big company that wants to invest and buy 20 supermarkets in Portugal, for example. And the
Mm-hmm.
level of business is totally different. But that's your option. That's the target that you need to define and say, this is the kind of people that I want to work with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's your option.
And do you have a specific target now?
I think that in our world now, and
Mm-hmm.
regarding, for example, Europe, we can consider ourselves, when compared to other regions of the world, we can consider ourselves and our way of living almost as millionaires.
Mm.
Okay, we have conditions and we have access to things that a huge part of our world don't have. So we need to recognize and that we are lucky in what we have. But if we want to keep this, because the middle people no longer exist or tend to disappear, this means that you have poor people or millionaires.
Mm-hmm. Like the two extremes.
And if you want to have work, and I'm only talking about this, please, I don't want to be misunderstood. And if you want to have work and potential to earn money and potential to have access to things that make you have the same level of life that you're used to have or want to have a little more, you need to work and invest to go to the upper level. Otherwise, you'll go down.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do.
If you're not growing, you're
you go down immediately. As people used to say in the US regarding your job, go up or go out. So you always need to practice and move and invest and work to go up. Otherwise, you'll go out.
Yeah, I can tell you visited a lot of United States. You have this mentality, you know?
Yeah, a lot. Because they are good in what they do, different from us, but they are good in what they do. I saw some tools that I could use here in Portugal. I was telling you, when I saw Clio, this management program follow office, when I saw Clio more than 10 years ago, when I arrived in Portugal and I said, I have Clio, people will say, what is that? Are you crazy? Are you spending money in what? And it was almost normal. It was starting okay, but it was already almost normal to have this in the US. And people in Europe didn't know, they didn't have an idea of what we're talking about. So they are good. As I said, the Italians are very good also regarding IT, regarding new technologies, new tools applied to law. The Italians are very good. The Spanish are also working very well. Unfortunately, here in Portugal, we need a lot of work and a lot of years to invest, to study, to get some more education to become better. It's a pity.
Okay, Vasco, thank you so much for your time.
It was a pleasure, my friend. Call me anytime, anything that you may need, any other conversation. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.